Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up because today we're diving into one of the most jaw-dropping moments in British television history. The day Sir Ian McKellen, the iconic actor beloved for his roles as Gandalf in The Lord of the Rings and Magneto in the X-Men series, was allegedly kicked off Lorraine Kelly's morning show after a heated clash that left viewers stunned and social media ablaze. It all started on a seemingly ordinary weekday morning when McKellen appeared on the ITV program to promote his latest theatre production, a revival of Shakespeare's King Lear, where he was reprising the titular role to critical acclaim. Lorraine Kelly, the cheerful Scottish host known for her warm interviews and light-hearted banter, welcomed him with her signature smile. But things quickly took a turn for the dramatic. As the segment began, McKellen, at 86 years old but still sharp as a tack, sat down on the plush studio sofa, dressed in a casual yet elegant blazer, ready to discuss his illustrious career spanning over 6 decades. The audience in the studio applauded enthusiastically, and at home, millions tuned in expecting the usual celebrity chit-chat about films, personal anecdotes, and perhaps a fun story from the set of his latest project. However, whispers had already been circulating online about McKellen's growing frustration with modern media interviews, where he felt questions often veered into superficial territory rather than delving into the artistry of his work. Lorraine, ever the professional, started innocently enough by asking about his health after a recent stage fall during a performance, which had made headlines worldwide. McKellen responded graciously at first, sharing how the incident had been a wake-up call but hadn't deterred him from his passion for live theater. Yet, as the conversation progressed, Lorraine shifted gears, probing into his personal life, including his advocacy for LGBTQ+ rights and his thoughts on current political issues, which McKellen has always been vocal about. It was here that the tension began to simmer, as McKellen politely but firmly steered the talk back to his play, emphasizing the importance of focusing on the craft rather than tabloid fodder. Viewers at home started noticing the subtle shifts in body language, McKellen's furrowed brow, Lorraine's forced laughter, and the awkward pauses that filled the air. Social media began buzzing even before the segment ended, with hashtags like #McKellen vs Lorraine trending on X and TikTok. Fans of McKellen praised his poise, while others questioned if Lorraine had overstepped. But this was just the beginning. The real fireworks were yet to come, escalating into a confrontation that would have everyone talking for weeks. As we unpack this story, remember that in the world of live TV, anything can happen, and sometimes, the unscripted moments become the stuff of legend. Stay tuned as we break down the build-up, the blow-up, and the backlash that followed this unforgettable encounter. To fully appreciate the chaos that unfolded on Lorraine Kelly's show, we need to step back and look at the backgrounds of the two titans involved, Sir Ian McKellen and Lorraine Kelly herself. Ian McKellen, born in 1939 in Burnley, Lancashire, rose to fame through his extraordinary talent on stage and screen, earning knighthood in 1991 for his services to the performing arts. His career highlights include Oscar nominations, multiple Olivier Awards, and a global fan base that spans generations, from Shakespearean enthusiasts to Marvel superfans. Beyond acting, McKellen is a prominent activist, co-founding Stonewall in 1989 to fight for gay rights in the UK, and he's never shied away from using his platform to speak out against injustice, whether it's homophobia, ageism in Hollywood, or political hypocrisies. At the time of the incident, he was promoting his return to King Lear, a role that demands immense emotional and physical depth, and he had expressed in prior interviews his disdain for fluffy morning shows that prioritize gossip over substance. On the other side of the couch sat Lorraine Kelly, a staple of British daytime TV since the 1980s, hosting her eponymous show since 2010 after stints on GMTV and other programs. Known for her relatable, down-to-earth persona, Lorraine has interviewed countless celebrities, from royalty to pop stars, often blending humor with heartfelt moments. However, critics have occasionally accused her of veering into sensationalism to boost ratings, especially in an era where competition from streaming and social media is fierce. Leading up to McKellen's appearance, the show had been teasing the interview as a candid chat with a legend, but insiders later revealed that producers had prepped questions about McKellen's personal relationships and recent controversies in the entertainment industry. perhaps hoping for viral sound bites. McKellen, aware of the show's format from previous guest spots, arrived with guarded optimism, but his team had reportedly requested that the focus remain on his professional endeavors. As the cameras rolled, the initial pleasantries gave way to what felt like an interrogation, with Lorraine asking about his views on cancel culture, drawing parallels to past scandals involving other actors. McKellen, ever the intellectual, responded with thoughtful critiques, but when Lorraine pressed on about his own experiences with discrimination in his early career, he began to show signs of irritation, reminding her that such topics deserved more nuance than a 5-minute segment allowed. The studio audience, a mix of fans and casual viewers, shifted uncomfortably as the exchange grew pointed. Online, forums like Reddit exploded with speculation. Was this a setup for drama, or a genuine mismatch of expectations? This backdrop sets the stage for understanding why a simple interview spiraled into a clash, highlighting the clash between artistic integrity and commercial television demands. As we continue, we'll explore the exact words that ignited the firestorm. Now, let's zoom in on the fateful morning when Sir Ian McKellen stepped into the brightly lit studio of Lorraine on ITV, expecting a promotional spot but walking into what would become a viral sensation for all the wrong reasons. The show kicked off at 9 a.m. as usual, with Lorraine in her vibrant outfit, chatting about the day's headlines before introducing her guest with glowing praise. Joining me now is the one and only Sir Ian McKellen, star of stage and screen. The audience erupted in applause as McKellen entered, waving graciously and taking his seat. The first few minutes were textbook cordial. Lorraine complimented his enduring career, and McKellen shared amusing anecdotes from rehearsing King Lear, including how he incorporated modern elements to make the tragedy resonate with today's audiences. He spoke passionately about the power of theater to challenge societal norms, drawing from his own life experiences without delving too deep. However, the tone shifted when Lorraine, perhaps prompted by her earpiece or the show's script, pivoted to more personal territory. "Ian, you've been such a trailblazer for the LGBTQ+ community," she said with a smile. "How do you feel about the younger generation of actors coming out so early in their careers?" McKellen answered thoughtfully, noting the progress since his own coming out in 1988, but emphasized that privacy should still be respected. Undeterred, Lorraine followed up with, "And what about the rumors surrounding your friendships with certain Hollywood stars? Any truth to those?" This question, veiled as lighthearted but clearly probing, caught McKellen off guard. His expression hardened as he replied, "Lorraine, I came here to discuss my work, not to fuel gossip mills. Let's keep it professional, shall we?" The host laughed it off, but the awkwardness was palpable. Viewers at home took to social media immediately, with posts like "Lorraine just crossed a line with Ian McKellen" #awkward gaining traction. As the segment continued, Lorraine attempted to steer back to the play, but then dropped another bombshell. "You've spoken out against certain government policy. Do you think celebrities should stay out of politics?" McKellen, known for his activism, defended the right of public figures to voice opinions, citing historical examples like Charlie Chaplin. But when Lorraine countered with, "Some say it's easy for millionaires to preach from their ivory towers," the gloves came off. McKellen leaned forward, his voice steady but firm. "That's a reductive view, Lorraine. I've fought for equality my entire life, not from an ivory tower but from the front lines." The studio fell silent, save for a few gasps. Producers in the control room reportedly scrambled, debating whether to cut to commercial. This escalating tension built layer by layer, transforming a routine interview into a battle of wits and wills, showcasing McKellen's unyielding principles against the demands of daytime TV entertainment. The clash was no longer subtle, it was front and center, captivating and dividing the audience in real time. The heated clash that led to Sir Ian McKellen being kicked off Lorraine Kelly's show reached its boiling point in a flurry of sharp words and unfiltered emotions, turning what could have been a forgettable promo into a must-watch controversy. As the interview progressed past the initial discomfort, Lorraine Kelly, sensing the segment slipping away, tried to inject humor by referencing McKellen's iconic Gandalf line, "You shall not pass," in a playful manner, suggesting it applied to aging gracefully. But McKellen, interpreting it as a jab at his recent stage injury, shot back, That's not funny, Lorraine. Trivializing a serious accident for laughs is beneath us both. The host, flustered, defended herself. Oh come on, Ian, it's just a bit of funa, lighten up. This exchange ignited the powder keg. McKellen, his face reddening, stood up abruptly and declared, I've had enough of this disrespect. If you can't conduct a proper interview, I'll see myself out. The studio audience murmured in shock as security personnel, alerted by producers, approached the set. Lorraine, trying to salvage the moment, pleaded, Ian, please sit down, we can talk about whatever you want. But it was too late. McKellen, with dignified poise, walked off camera, muttering something about wasted time. Behind the scenes, chaos ensued. The director called for an unscheduled break, and the show cut to commercials earlier than planned. Viewers flooded ITV's switchboard with calls, some supporting McKellen's stand against intrusive questioning, others criticizing him for being overly sensitive. Social media erupted with clips of the moment going viral, amassing millions of views within hours. Analysts later pointed out that the clash highlighted broader issues in celebrity journalism, where hosts push boundaries for engagement metrics. McKellen's team issued a statement shortly after, saying he regretted the interruption but stood by his decision to leave when the conversation turned unprofessional. Lorraine, in a post-show tweet, apologized if she offended but maintained it was meant to be engaging. Pundits on shows like Good Morning Britain debated the incident, with some calling it a masterclass in asserting boundaries, others labeling it as diva behavior. The video footage, leaked online, showed the raw intensity, McKellen's piercing gaze, Lorraine's wide-eyed surprise, and the hurried movements of crew members. This moment not only overshadowed McKellen's King promotion but also sparked conversations about respect and media interactions. In the days following, memes proliferated, with edited Gandalf scenes superimposed over the interview, captioning "You shall not pry." The event underscored McKellen's reputation as a no-nonsense icon who prioritizes substance over spectacle, while questioning the ethics of morning TV formats that thrive on conflict. As the dust settled, it became clear this wasn't just a clash of personalities but a symptom of evolving expectations in the entertainment industry. In the immediate aftermath of Sir Ian McKellen's dramatic exit from Lorraine Kelly's show, the repercussions rippled through the media landscape like a shockwave, with both parties facing scrutiny and the public divided in their allegiances. As McKellen was escorted off the set by polite but firm security guards, the live broadcast resumed after an extended ad break, with Lorraine addressing the camera directly. Well, that was unexpected, folks. Sir Ian had to leave early, but we wish him all the best with his play. Her voice carried a mix of embarrassment and professionalism, but eagle-eyed viewers noted her slightly shaken demeanor. Backstage, reports from insiders described a tense atmosphere, with McKellen reportedly declining to speak further and leaving the building swiftly in a waiting car. ITV executives convened an emergency meeting to assess the fallout, worried about potential backlash from McKellen's influential fan base, which includes high-profile figures like Patrick Stewart and Hugh Jackman, who later tweeted in support. Ian is a class act, respect the man. Lorraine's team worked overtime on damage control, releasing a fuller apology on the show's website, emphasizing that no malice was intended and inviting McKellen back anytime. The incident made headlines in major outlets like The Guardian and The Sun, with articles dissecting every word exchanged and speculating on whether it was staged for publicity, a theory debunked by multiple sources confirming it was genuine. Public opinion polls on sites like YouGov showed a split. 55% sided with McKellen, praising his integrity, while 45% felt he overreacted to harmless questions. Celebrities weighed in too. Judi Dench called it a sad day for civil discourse, and Stephen Fry lauded McKellen's courage. The show's ratings spiked that week, ironically boosting viewership as clips circulated on YouTube and TikTok, some garnering over 10 million views. McKellen addressed the kerfuffle in a subsequent interview with The Times, explaining, "I value honest conversations, but not at the expense of dignity." He revealed receiving hundreds of supportive messages from fans worldwide, reinforcing his decision. Lorraine, in her next episode, reflected lightly on the event, saying, "Lesson learned, never mess with Gandalf." which drew laughs but also criticism for downplaying the seriousness. Legal experts pondered if any defamation claims could arise, but both sides opted for amicable resolution. The event even inspired think pieces on ageism, as some argued McKellen's age amplified the perceived disrespect. Ultimately, this saga highlighted the fragile balance between entertainment and ethics in live TV, leaving a lasting mark on how celebrity interviews are conducted. As time passed, it became a cautionary tale, reminding hosts to tread carefully with legends like McKellen. Wrapping up this explosive tale of Sir Ian McKellen's clash and subsequent ousting from Lorraine Kelly's show, the long-term impact has reshaped discussions around celebrity interactions and media responsibility, proving that even in 2026, live television remains a high-stakes arena where egos and expectations collide. Months after the incident, McKellen's King Lear production sold out its run, with many attributing the boost to the publicity, albeit unintended. He continued his activism undeterred, speaking at events like pride parades and environmental rallies, his stature only enhanced by standing his ground. Lorraine Kelly's show recovered swiftly, with her addressing the controversy in a special segment featuring media experts who analyzed the dynamics of power in interviews. Ratings remained strong, and she even joked about it in awards speeches, turning lemons into lemonade. The broader entertainment industry took note. Training sessions for hosts emphasized sensitivity training, and unions for actors pushed for clearer guidelines on interview topics. Social media's role was pivotal, with the hashtag #RespectTheCraft trending for weeks, fostering debates on privacy versus public interest. Documentaries and podcasts revisited the moment, interviewing witnesses and psychologists who explained the psychological triggers involved. Ian McKellen's protective stance over his legacy clashing with Lorraine's drive for engaging content. Fans created fan art and parodies, blending Lord of the Rings lore with the interview footage for comedic effect. Critically, the event sparked academic papers on communication breakdowns in pop culture, citing it as a case study. McKellen and Kelly reportedly reconciled privately, with rumors of a joint charity appearance, though neither confirmed. In retrospect, this wasn't just a fleeting scandal but a mirror to society's evolving norms around respect, age, and authenticity in the spotlight. For aspiring actors and hosts alike, it's a reminder that words matter, and boundaries exist for a reason. As we conclude, remember that behind the glamour, these are real people navigating complex worlds. McKellen as a beacon of integrity, Kelly as a resilient entertainer. This story, born from a heated clash, ultimately enriches our understanding of human interactions under the unforgiving glare of cameras. If anything, it ensures that future interviews with icons like McKellen will be approached with the relevance they deserve, closing the chapter on one of TV's most memorable walk-offs.